Joe McCarthy, Richard Nixon, Stud, Baker Television, North Korea, South Korea, Marilyn Monroe. Ryan started the fire. I really hope someone gets that reference. Let me know in the comments if you get the reference. Just leave a thumbs up, you know, or you could just say the answer. I don't care. But let me know if you get that reference. But today we need to talk about who started the fire. And it definitely wasn't Ryan this time. It wasn't Ryan. We need to talk about a situation that took place sometime around Memorial Weekend where we had an Amazon delivery person that delivered a package to a burning house and didn't call the fire department to extinguish the fire. We're going to run the clip so you guys can see for yourself what's been going on and you can let me know what you think.
Fire over the holiday weekend did serious damage to a home in Medfield. The owners were away, but right now they're wondering why an Amazon driver who came to the house, saw the smoke, didn't call 911.
JC, the fire started right here because of construction material. It damaged the home, and the owners think that this all could have been prevented.
Okay, that's just not something that is, normal, and maybe a quick phone call to the fire department would be best.
And he's absolutely right. I don't think anybody would just look at a fire and just walk away like the Amazon delivery person did. I'm not sure if this Amazon delivery person was just behind on schedule and didn't even have the time to make any call. Because let's be honest here, guys. It's Amazon. This is the same company that didn't allow their employees to leave during like a tornado warning. Which, mind you, was pretty controversial because there were a lot of people that were arguing about, Amazon workers should have left when there was a tornado warning. But then at the same time, when there's a tornado just ripping through your neighborhood, usually when it's near your vicinity, the best thing to do is to stay inside. You don't want to get caught outside with a raging tornado nearby. And also, this is the same company that also is very strict when it comes to bathroom breaks, from what I understand. I've heard horror stories of Amazon delivery people and warehouse workers where they're refused to use a bathroom to the point where they have to pee in water bottles or something like that. I've heard Amazon has been pretty shitty about that. So if I'm seeing an employee just going through smoke the way that they did and just drop a package and take a picture and then just leave the way they did, a part of me just feels like that's just typical Amazon. Now, I did hear that some people say that, a lot of these people that are delivering packages for Amazon don't really work for Amazon per se. They're just, contractors that just work with Amazon or something like that. I don't know the specifics about that, but point being, that person is wearing Amazon attire. So if anyone is looking at that camera and they see that Amazon attire, they're going to think Amazon. That person is representing Amazon. People aren't going to care if they're a part-time, a full-time, a contractor. Hell, that person could have been an intern for all they know. So of course they're going to look at Amazon and say, hey, one of your employees delivered my package to my house that was obviously on fire and they didn't do anything. What's up with that?
Peter McCardle was away with his family Saturday when fire broke out at his Medfield home. The only visitor, this Amazon driver, seen on video leaving a package in the garage, seemingly unaware of a smoking container of construction material in the driveway.
Unaware is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting here. I'm pretty sure the person was full on aware that there was smoke there. I'm not sure if they were aware that there was like an open fire or something like that, but still, it's very hard to say that they weren't aware. I'm pretty sure they were. Maybe this person didn't really have anything to call the police or the fire department with. I'm not sure if this person was behind on schedule or whatever. There's a lot of things about Amazon that will surprise you. But I do agree with the fact that something could have at least have been done. Going to the next door neighbor for 1 minute, banging on the door saying, hey, listen, can you call the fire department? I don't have a personal device on me, but that house is on fire. Can you call 911? And then you can just go about your business. You've done your job. But looking at that is kind of crazy because that could have been anybody's house. That could have been your house or your apartment. And seeing that is just very scary because you see a lot of personal belongings there that could have caught fire. The whole house could have been on fire. And now it would be an argument of, had the Amazon person, called the fire department earlier when they first saw the fire, the damage could have been prevented.
It's just astonishing that you can walk through smoke see the fire in the trash bin and walk away and close the door behind you and go to your next delivery.
Several hours after the delivery, a neighbor noticed the flames and called 911. The fire department says the fire started because of combustible materials disposed of improperly by contractors working on the house.
And those had obviously combusted within 20 or 30 minutes. I think it was like 90 degrees on Saturday.
So we have contractors that are now getting thrown into this situation here. So they were basically working on the house while, he was away for vacation, whatever, over the weekend. And they left combustible material in some box or some garbage can or whatever. And mind you, it's combustible and the weather was pretty hot. He did mention it was around like 90 degrees at the time. The material combusted and it started a fire. And then we have this Amazon person that, saw the fire, but they didn't really call the fire department. So you have one party that could have prevented the fire, and they didn't go out of their way to properly dispose of whatever material they were handling at the time. And then you have an Amazon employee, a delivery person, whatever, that saw the fire and could have prevented extended damage to the house, but they didn't take it upon themselves to call the fire department and instead went on to complete another delivery. So, of course, I can understand from his perspective that he's probably going to be looking for answers like, what the hell? Like, how did you guys mishandle combustible material? Well, how is it that you see a house on fire and you don't notify the neighbors? Or if you had a personal device on you, you would call the police or the fire department. Like, there is a lot of misses here, and this man could have been homeless as a result of these two instances just occurring. It's just mistake after mistake after mistake. In fact, it's just very hard to call it a mistake because a part of me just feels that if I walk past a house and a house is on fire and I don't call the fire department after I see the fire, I don't see any emergency services coming by to extinguish the flame, and I just walk away, whatever happens to that house, or God forbid if anyone was in the house while the house was on fire, say they get hurt or they die, I wouldn't be able to bear the thought that I indirectly hurt somebody. Had I called the fire department while I spotted the fire, lives could have been saved, but I decided to just mind my own business. It's just so weird to me.
McCardle and his wife drove up from the Cape after getting a call that the house was on fire. Eventually, he called Amazon to tell them what happened.
I had a woman that spoke to two different managers, both who said that they're not willing to take your call because they weren't at blame for the fire.
Yeah, no shit. No one is saying that Amazon is responsible for the fire starting. Again, we're already aware that the contractors were the reason why the fire started. I think the main issue is that one of your employees or contractor, whatever, that was wearing your uniform representing your company is delivering a package to a house that was on fire at the time. There was smoke. You guys got caught in 4K and nothing was done. I think that's really what this guy is trying to figure out. I don't think he's trying to say like, hey, you guys started the fire. I don't think he's saying that. I think he's very well aware that's not the case. But at the same time, I can understand why you have employees at Amazon that's not going to talk to the guy, mainly because, one, of course, for legal reasons. An Amazon manager isn't going to call this guy and say, hey, I'm sorry our employees did that. Because, again, if you imply that you're sorry, it's implying that, hey, we are guilty of this. Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to put the company in that kind of position. So they're better off just not saying anything. And if there was any legal action, I'm pretty sure the corporate lords at Amazon will handle that accordingly. But until then, I don't think the managers got the whole picture as to what happened during that incident. So I don't think they would be in a good position to even comment about it or to speak with the gentleman about it. because they would probably do more damage than anything else to the company if they were to address it themselves.
McCardle says he isn't looking to blame anyone and understands how the fire started. His only point, if you see something, say something.
Quite frankly, I think I'd rather Amazon tell the story that one of our drivers saved someone's life by calling the fire department when a trash receptacle is on fire outside someone's house.
What a fucking Chad. And he's absolutely right. And it's pretty crazy how he's really calm about all this. He's like, listen, guys, I'm not here to point fingers. I'm not here looking to blame. I'm not trying to sue anybody. I really just want answers at the end of the day. Plus, this could have been a hero story, and he's kind of right. There could have been someone in that house that could have been hurt by the fire, and that Amazon delivery person just didn't do anything. If that Amazon person were to call the fire department and extinguish the flame before anyone in the house got hurt, of course, nobody was there, but let's just say, for instance, there was, because it's not like the Amazon person knows if anybody's in the house. They bypass a story and been like, wow, an Amazon delivery person, saved someone from the fire. They caught a fire before it did, catastrophic damage. Also, I just wanted to bring up one thing because I did a little bit of research and I was thinking, was there any other instances where there was an Amazon delivery worker that came across a house that they were delivering to that caught on fire, if they did anything? Apparently there was one. There was an Amazon delivery driver from New York City, or in Long Island specifically, that saw a house that was on fire, and he went out of his way to not only just call the police or to bring the fire department over, but he went out of his way to actually save multiple people that were inside the house that was on fire. Like, the entire front of that house was on fire, and he still went out of his way to save, I think, 5 family members that were in that house. I think there was 3 kids and 3 dogs in that house, and now the whole fire department is honoring him. A part of me feels like, okay, I can understand Amazon. Amazon is scummy. What are you gonna do about that? But then at the same time, after looking at this particular instance of what the New York City, Amazon driver did, and what this Amazon driver did, it kind of leads me to believe that there was something wrong with that person. I'm not sure if Amazon is doing their own investigation. I'm not sure if this person is going to be held, liable, but Amazon is going to deal with that themselves. They don't need, public scrutiny to do that. Still, I personally feel, again, there is, or there should be, accountability in both fronts. One being the contractors, and the other being the Amazon delivery person. But until then, guys, that's really it. I just wanted to talk about this because this was a crazy story, and thankfully nobody was hurt, and hopefully this guy, finds some way to get his damages compensated, because that is pretty crazy. I'm pretty sure Amazon is not going to foot the bill on this one. They're going to try to disassociate themselves from this incident, but I'm pretty sure that this guy's going to be talking with the contractors about that. But until then, guys, that's about it. Peace.